Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. The line Yellow Sand stretched through countless battles, wearing golden armor. I will not return until the Loulan is defeated vividly depicts the ancient and legendary nature of Loulan. Loulan, the ancient kingdom known for its significance along the Silk Road, was once a prosperous civilization. But with the passage of time, it mysteriously vanished, leaving behind endless mysteries and imaginations. So, how did Loulan disappear? What secrets remain hidden within it? As one of the 36 kingdoms of the ancient western regions, Loulan has long been a topic of interest for historians and archaeologists. It was strategically located at a key juncture along the Silk Road. As described in the records of the grand historian, Shi, the kingdom of Shanshan, originally known as Loulan, had its capital in Canli City, 1,300 miles from Yangguan and 3,100 miles from Chang'an. This indicates that Loulan was not only connected to Dunhuang in the east, but also to the kingdom of Chaisher in the north, and to the regions of Yeqi, Kem, Jingzhue, and Khotan in the west and southwest. Its location was crucial, serving as a vital link between the east and west along the Silk Road. The people of Loulan established their kingdom as early as the 3rd century BC. Initially ruled by the Yuezhi tribe, they made Loulan City, located in the northeastern part of today's Taklamakan Desert and near the northwest edge of Lop Nur, their capital. However, after the Xiongnu defeated the Yuezhi, Loulan became a vassal state of the Xiongnu. In 176 BC, Moda Chanyu of the Xiongnu mentioned in a letter to Emperor Liu Heng of the Han dynasty that Loulan had already been incorporated into the Xiongnu Empire. Although Loulan was not a large territory, it was highly strategic and quickly developed into an important borderland state along the Silk Road. According to the Book of Han, Loulan had a population of over 14,000, with nearly 3,000 soldiers, indicating its influence and strength in the western regions. In the early Han dynasty, the Xiongnu were powerful, with a large military and abundant supplies. The Han dynasty suffered multiple defeats in their struggles against the Xiongnu. To recover, Emperor Liu Bang implemented a policy of Haqin, marriage alliance, sending beautiful women to the Xiongnu in exchange for peace. Loulan also acted as a spy for the Xiongnu, even attacking Han emissaries. In 104 BC, Emperor Wu of Han, frustrated with Loulan's actions, sent troops to attack Loulan, capturing its king. Afterward, Loulan was forced to submit to the Han dynasty. However, Loulan's relationship with the Xiongnu did not end there. The Xiongnu were dissatisfied with Loulan's submission to the Han and once again sent troops to attack the kingdom. Facing pressure from both the Xiongnu and Han, Loulan sent 2 princes as hostages, one to the Xiongnu and the other to the Han, to maintain a delicate balance between the two great powers. After the death of Loulan's old king, the Xiongnu took the opportunity to send back Loulan's hostages, including a prince named Angue, who, with the support of the Xiongnu, regained the throne. However, he did not learn from his past mistakes and continued his old practices of attacking Han emissaries. Though Emperor Zhao of Han was still a child, the general Huaguang decisively sent Fu Jieji to assassinate Angue and installed Loulan's younger brother, Wei Tujuan, as king. He also changed the name of Loulan to Shanshan and moved the capital to Canli City, modern-day Ruoqiang in Xinjiang. From then on, Loulan complied with the Han dynasty's policies, sending troops to cultivate land and setting up beacon towers along the route from Yumen Pass to Loulan to guard against Xiongnu attacks. Under the influence of the Han dynasty, Loulan gradually stabilized. During the Wei, Jin, and former Liang periods, Loulan became the seat of the western region's chief administrator, controlling the political and military power of the region. However, as the Eastern Jin period and the 16 Kingdoms era brought political turmoil and northern tribes rose to power, the connection between Loulan and the Central Plains began to fade. By the Tang dynasty, due to the strength of the Central Plains, The Tang dynasty and the Tibetan Empire clashed multiple times in Loulan, leading to its eventual decline and mysterious disappearance. The famous poet Wang Chongling of the Tang dynasty mentioned Loulan in his poem From the Army, saying, "Yellow sand stretched through countless battles, wearing golden armor. I will not return until the Loulan is defeated." This shows how resilient and tenacious Loulan was in history. Despite facing multiple defeats in wars, it stood firm and unyielding. Therefore, to this day, the disappearance of Loulan remains an unsolved mystery, and many scholars and experts are still deeply puzzled by it. The last historical record of Loulan appears in the Book of Zhou, which is also the final official history dedicated to the Loulan kingdom. In 644 AD, the famous Tang dynasty monk Xuanzang passed through the town of Nabupo on his journey to India. He left the following description: "From here, traveling east for more than 600 miles, we arrive at the ancient country of Zhamatua, which is the land of Nirvana, where the city walls stand tall but the population is gone. Continuing northeast for more than 1,000 miles, we arrive at Nabupo, the ancient land of Loulan." This shows that by then, Loulan had already become desolate and lifeless. In 400 AD, during his westward journey to India, the Eastern Jain monk Faxian passed through Loulan and wrote in his record of Buddhist kingdoms, "There were no flying birds above, no running beasts below. As far as the eye could see, only the dried bones of the dead served as landmarks." These two monks, who lived relatively close to Loulan in time, both witnessed a silent and barren wilderness. Today, discussing the mystery of Loulan's disappearance is exceedingly difficult, as the existing records and relics provide only limited clues. However, based on the views of some mainstream historians, the sudden disappearance of this ancient kingdom can be attributed to the following main factors. First, climate change. During the prosperous period of Loulan, the climate around Lop Nur was relatively suitable, with sufficient rainfall, vast lakes, and abundant water resources. However, over time, the climate gradually changed, entering a cooling period. As the climate became colder, precipitation decreased, and rivers shrank, leading to the drying up of lakes and the gradual expansion of the desert. Around 2,000 years ago, the arid climate worsened, and vast areas of northern China experienced natural phenomena like loess accumulation, the disappearance of lakes, and sea regression. These changes led to crop failure, leaving the population unable to sustain their livelihoods, forcing them to abandon the land. The once prosperous Loulan was eventually buried by the winds and sand. It wasn't just Loulan that was affected. The expansion of the desert also led to the decline and disappearance of other ancient cities in the western regions, such as Naya, Caradun, Milan, Nirong, and Khan. Climate change was undoubtedly a major factor in the disappearance of Loulan. Secondly, the disruption of the Silk Road trade routes. Loulan, as an important node on the Silk Road, relied on prosperous trade to sustain its economy. With the opening of the northern route of the Silk Road, the trade routes passing through Hami, Yewol, Turpan, and others gradually replaced the original route through Loulan. The once busy desert road was abandoned. Loulan lost its trade connection with the outside world, and its economy gradually declined. The prosperity and bustle of the city vanished. Without the wealth and vitality brought by trade, Loulan gradually became barren and ultimately fell into ruin. The third reason is the destruction caused by wars. Loulan was located at a strategic point on the Silk Road and was always a contested area. Frequent wars and plundering ravaged the region, causing severe destruction. The wars not only destroyed Loulan's agriculture and vegetation but also dealt a fatal blow to its transport and trade status. Furthermore, Loulan was situated at the edge of the desert, and the desert environment itself posed immense challenges to living conditions and agriculture. As the wars continued, Loulan's social structure and economy gradually collapsed, and the city eventually lost its former glory. It is worth mentioning the discovery of the ruins of the ancient Loulan city. In 1900, Swedish explorer Zheng He, with funding from the Swedish king, embarked on an expedition to the Taklamakan Desert. His goal was to explore the mysterious Lop Nur, an ancient body of water with an unpredictable location. He journeyed eastward and eventually reached the lower reaches of the Peacock River. On March 28, during a routine inventory check, one of He's expedition members, Aldik, noticed that a shovel was missing. While searching for the lost item, he unexpectedly discovered a beautifully carved wooden plank from Loulan, adorned with intricate patterns. Aldik immediately informed He, who followed him to the northwest shore of Lop Nur, where they came upon an ancient site. There, He discovered numerous valuable relics, including exquisite wood carvings, textiles, ancient coins, and more. However, due to the lack of water, he had to leave temporarily. After a year of preparation, He returned to the mysterious site on March 3, 1901, for a week of excavation. This time, he brought back a large number of artifacts, including coins, silk textiles, food, pottery, 36 ancient manuscripts, 120 bamboo slips, and several brushes. All these precious relics were packed and transported out of the desert by 8 camels, shipped via India, and eventually returned to Sweden as a way to repay the king's financial support. Upon his return to Sweden, He handed the artifacts to German experts for authentication. Upon analysis, the experts discovered the term Loulan mentioned in the manuscripts, eventually confirming that this site was the long-lost ancient Loulan city. He referred to it as the Pompeii of the desert, and this groundbreaking discovery shocked the world. He's discovery also drew the attention of the global archaeological community, and more people began to venture to Loulan to explore. In 1906 and 1914, British archaeologists conducted large-scale excavations at Loulan, cataloging the sites one by one and uncovering dozens of relics. According to relevant historians, the history of Loulan seems to be too distant, too far for us to truly understand its past. However, the ancient Loulan kingdom is a place full of mystery and historical significance. It witnessed the rise and fall of the ancient Silk Road and carries the exploration and imagination of countless people throughout history. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.